Hello and happy National Caregivers Month. I'm so sorry to be missing the opportunity to be in person with all of you, but I'm so grateful to the NWELL team for figuring out a way that I could share some timely thoughts with you, especially given this year's conference theme. It's about time. Every day in our country, about 10,000 of us turn 65, and about 10,000 of us are born. For our entire lives, we rely on the care of others, our parents and caregivers, child care workers. If we have a disability or as we age, we might rely on a family caregiver or a direct care worker. We all also eventually provide care. It's a fundamental and sacred part of life, but it's become harder and harder with each generation and each day because our needs for care have changed as our culture and our economic realities have changed. More women in the workforce, more insecurity in the workplace, and our needs have increased significantly too as we live longer. Meanwhile, our support for care has not changed or increased. We don't have the systems in place we need to help us care for ourselves or the people we love, including at the end of our lives. What we have are 53 million overstretched family caregivers and nearly 9 million underpaid professional care workers. The median income of a home health care worker in the United States is $23,000 per year. Wages so low, we're struggling to retain even our most dedicated care workers because of how challenging it is to make ends meet. Things have been rough for a while. That's not the timely part. The timely part is actually the good news. For the last 25 years that I've been organizing and advocating on these issues, I have never seen the kind of opening for change that I see now. It used to be that we would be having these conversations at every kitchen table in the country and in rooms like this one, but it never seemed to break through to the decision makers who were actually setting our priorities. And then COVID made this quiet crisis we were all dealing with in the privacy of our own homes, one that we had to wrestle with as a country. And care became a conversation in the news, among every legislative body, even in the film and television industry. Three signals that we are in a generational moment for change. 5 years ago, if I would have said care would be a centerpiece of the president's economic agenda, not the women's agenda, not the aging agenda, the economic agenda, I would have been dismissed as delusional. But not only has that happened, we came a few votes shy of a transformational investment in childcare and in aging and disability care in the home, and in establishing a new national paid leave program. No one would have predicted that. It was not on the table 5 years ago. After that, one might have thought the moment is over, but then the president signed the most sweeping executive order on care in the history of our country, directing every federal agency to do what is in their power to make care more affordable and accessible for families and to make care jobs better jobs. And then states have decided that they are not going to wait for Congress to take action. In July, Washington launched a long-term care benefit. In Minnesota, they just passed one of the strongest paid leave bills in the country, ensuring that every Minnesotan can show up when our loved ones need us the most, including at the end of life. Stepping back, when I think about all the big challenges we face as a nation, from the epidemic of loneliness to entrenched economic inequality, even political polarization, what it comes down to is whether we as a country values caring for one another. Is care a true societal priority? I grew up with my grandparents, and they each played a major role in caring for me. I learned about caregiving through their two very different experiences with end-of-life care. At 93, my grandfather needed assistance we could not find in the home, as hard as we looked, and we had to place him in a nursing home against his wishes. This particular facility was so understaffed and under-resourced. The workers had between 20 and 30 patients in their charge and constant turnover in staffing. The food was unrecognizable, and he shared a room with 5 other strangers. Even though he was in a room with 5 strangers, he died alone after just a few short months in that dehumanizing environment. My grandmother had a stroke at 92 and had a care team of my mother and 2 hospice workers who supported her care in the home. My 9-year-old niece came to see her every day. She died with loved ones by her side, and it was still hard, but we were all able to be in those days with some degree of agency and with dignity. 2 paths. That is the crossroads we face as a nation, a generational choice, an opportunity to build a system that supports our dignity from the time we are born to the time we die, to do what's at the heart of a healthy society, which is care for one another. Langston Hughes once said, "When someone cares for you and cries for you, they can straighten out your soul." What if making care the focus of our future was just what we needed to make life and death better in our country? It's about time.